Hey, Sagittarius. This is Joy with Joy of the World here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, click that subscribe button, ring the bell. They'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy of the World, give us that big thumbs up, like, share, and comment down below. For those of you who've given donations into the channel, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It makes it so much easier to bring these full videos to you here free of charge. Also, those decks showed up. I haven't looked at them or looked through them, but I've mixed them together. So it's moon magic and medicine is what is happening over here. So they may come fully into the reading. I don't know. A few ones slipped out to give me an overview of what is going on with you guys, showing me that you are also the sexual magic tarot deck. It's not too explicit, so I can show you that one. You're showing me that you're sort of between a rock and a hard place, Sagittarius, and not truly, but it's necessary because of this, with the energy of where you're at, to totally reinvent yourself. That's the rock and the hard place. It's almost like bookends just being smushed together, like they're packaged up that way and not making room for the volume of life to come in. So opening up here, bringing forth this new existence. And it's time to leave the yard, the backyard, the graveyard, the whatever yard this is, because where it's at is still bringing you deadly choices, choices that are dead ends, that are no good for you. It's not even about the person anymore. It's just totally about the energy, the people coming in, because it is love and romance coming your way, Sagittarius. It is this whole new self, and therefore it's needing to shed and morph and merge for it. It's not even like butterfly, caterpillar, dragonfly, that type of energy. It's a whole new being, like a light body and upgrade, okay? And this is like the waxing gibbous moon as well as cramp bark. So you're talking about this new birth, this whole new energy of self coming in. And what was wild is when I began to meditate, you showed me this thing. You call it a sonar cone, not sonar cone. You said you put it together, it has to be a sonar cone. So you showed me the sonar cone, Sagittarius, and I'm like, what? The button in the center, the central point, how we're going to move this energy is traveling from where we're at out to Pluto, and then it's going to launch into a whole new world from there. It's like Pluto is like the realm of darkness, and beyond it comes this birth of new light. So these are side energies. I can't say they're crowning. Now, I have not looked at the rune cards we have here because they will be the reading. These other ones are just asides to kind of give us an overview of the flow that's going on around you. And now you were showing me also that it's just time to leave the confinement. It's time to leave what you've been comfortable with, where you're at and where you are. But it's not like propulsion. So it's not talking about travel for you guys, which is a little odd, right? It will be some travel of sorts, but first of all, it's going to be this time travel is going to be this like setting up your new world before you even go there, and preparing yourself for this. And you're needing to know a bit about it because this is the journey that you're wanting to go on, but strategy is required. So there's this storm energy going on in between, like a storm of the mind, like chaos of the mind, stirring up of the debris, trying to get a grasp and a hold of what it is. That's the contractions going on. That's the cramp bark, trying to ease that contraction so you can release and flow. Because when you're birthing, they tell you to just relax. Just relax. So as your muscles and everything in you is spasming, trying to create this shift, it's that chaos going on. Storms are formed when two different pressures come in contact with one another. High pressure and low pressure, and it produces a storm. Two different energies creates that spark, that arc, that charge. So you're saying to turn around and to get in the flow with that, to merge and to go in that new direction instead of resisting the Pluto, which is death, empowerment, resurrection, that type of thing. Also here I'm hearing it's what you feared What you feared is that things would never change, that they'd always be the same. That's the undergirding essence, not that you were fearing where it was going, because you can adapt and change. That's the thing about you. You're both human and beast, right? You're man and animal, so you're very primal, very adaptable. The survival of the fittest, right? But then you have the intelligence of the man mind, which is what you're named to implore here. Okay, so don't be put out by the need for this part to come in order to begin this new life, this new journey. You're like, normally when I feel it, when I flow, I go. When I feel the flow coming, I just go in that direction. There never is a storm because I always go with it. Well, now there is, because Pluto is like a point of contact. It is a drawing together of oneself. So it's the holding together of this point, this place, this map, this dot, this pinpoint. And that's kind of disconcerting to you, to feel the world start to spin around you. You know, to feel the solar system and the cosmos moving around you and around your sun. You're like, I don't know what to do about all that. Okay, so now we're stepping into these, which is why the self came in reverse. It came in blocked. And so here we have blocked, disarray, habits, repetition, haughtiness, and our own enemy. So the way things have been could be your own undoing. But it's, like I said, I'm not saying that travel's being put out and put away, movement and flows being put out and put away. It's a redirect, which would make sense because Uranus just went into a retrograde. We have several planets in retrograde right now. So in order for you to have your best outcome, y'all, you have got to forgive me. I've got hairs tickling me all over the place. Okay. To go with it, to go with that direction, that energy, because you are the eternal learner, the voyager of the mind. And so get in alignment with that energy and make that turn. There it is. There we go. And now you're showing me will bring in your harvest. I'm going to leave it turn this way for a minute until we need to reveal the other side. But now that to be your own friend as opposed to your own enemy, go with that flow, go with that energy. Release what seemed like what you were building towards. There is some material, okay, some material objects, some material things that you were building and working towards. Release some of that, okay, in order to make that dog leg turn and come back, knowing that it will return to you in due season. That's what they're showing with harvest here. Usually it's a handhold, but you're showing me that dog leg, it's going to be and become lightning energy that'll move quickly when the time is necessary. Okay, Sagittarius, that will bring about beneficial outcome 1 year from now. Cultivate faded patience, harvest of the self. So there's a reason you couldn't move on as quickly and flow is you're needing to grow yourself where you're at in this newness of energy, to birth it out, to put roots. In order for something to grow more quickly, it needs a greater surface area to expand and to move into. So come out of that small space of your mind, unpack your travel bag, and begin to make home here for now. I know you don't like that. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can taste it. So let's go ahead and start getting some cards with that. We're going to get a cosmic. So the harvest of self. Tell us a bit about this cultivation. It's not even patience. I know it says it on there, but it's more about the process. It's about the development. So what is this development going on with Sagittarius? Okay, you want to be inverted. Show me another one. That's funny because that was coming out in the splits of the shuffle. Tell us a little bit more. That's too much. Let's be very precise. Get rid of some of this chaos energy and bring us in some clarity. We're going to go 2 more. Less 1. All right, we're taking off the top. So the King of Wands, 7 of Pentacles. So the harvest of self, this kickback and returning to walking away from oneself to return to oneself. So 7 of Pentacles. It's showing us that the energy that you were moving and operating in was desolate. So it's like you're drained. I don't know what all you've been fueling and backing with your energy, what you've been investing into. I see it more outside of yourself. Rather, it was an imbalance, more outside of yourself than rather into yourself. and you're going to have to just take this time to restore. It's like long ago, that's where spa came from. A spa was a respite, a getaway, often in the mountains or at the sea, where you were in an institution of sorts where they provided the meals, nourishing meals, healthy, well-balanced meals. They often had hot springs or mineral baths and things in nature that you would go and partake in, and just begin to let the body be in the environment and receive in the environment, so that it could create that energetic return, that flow, and that influx into yourself. Okay. Well, you're laying down now, so we'll take a look at the King of Wands. To restore your passion, your fire, your love. A relationship drained you. Okay, it's obvious here. It was a dividing of the mind. It was conflict. There was, you were trying to say constructive, but it was construct. The construct wore and broke you down. The way it had to be, it was a bit rigid and unyielding, and it kind of burned things up. It was too hot and too fiery and too passionate, in a sense, that it consumed you. And even your waters dried up. Even your waters, your spiritual waters dried up. The lotus had to return down into the depths of the water. It wore out. It wore your spirituality out. Your spirituality out. But there is a kite, which is a quick flying bird of spirit, coming in. They've heard your spirit cry, your spirit call, and they're coming in to bring in that perfect pair, that mating, that match. And also, like the hermetic cup, the medicine that is needing, thus this cramp bark, to stop the spasmings, the contraction working on your Jupiter, okay, to bring you back to health and balance with the way you feel about yourself as well. Not just the world around you, but yourself, your reflection. Okay, so underneath this we have warrior, will of heaven, patience, deep dive, molding character, and timely relationship. Okay, so this is giving us a little glimpse into what they were talking about here. This new relationship that's coming in pretty quickly because it is a kite. A kite is, we could say, a predatory bird, but all birds eat prey. It eats other birds, and it's swooping in pretty quickly to come on down and to land on this post of medicine, to get your passion and your fire, both prongs, both the full connection, the circuit going again. Like, you can't light your own pilot light. So it's good that this is coming in, and I keep hearing a mating pair. That's enough of that. You understand what I'm saying there. So we're going to get some cosmic. No, this ain't cosmic. What is this? The Dream Tarot. On this warrior, this timely relationship, give us a little bit more insight. I need a few cards here, actually. Let's get a bit of a spread. Okay, we're stepping into the body now. All right. I need 3 on this warrior for Sagittarius. I got 2. Those are stuck. I need 1 more. They're telling me to give it a minute. Okay, so we're going to give it a minute. These came out together but stacked. It's like one is a blanket and a covering for the other. So at the base, underneath it all, you have the Ten of Swords going on. Time was your enemy. It was working against you. And therefore, as you felt that pressure and that resistance, it's almost like you hit the gas pedal even more, not realizing that your emergency brake was partway up. Your spirit, your soul, yourself, your deep self, your soul self was telling you, hey, this wasn't working for you. This wasn't working out. It was actually working against you. And you were kind of already in a flume, in a trajectory of a flow, not knowing that it needed to redirect. Like a race car driver, it wasn't a dragster that just hits a straight strip really fast and then stops. This was a race track, and you need to be able to navigate the rotational energy going on with this, with the time. And that was perplexing you. It was bruising you. It was battering you. It was not respecting this human flesh that you're made of, okay? some more of that animal, the animal instinct trying to override the humanity and the intelligence here, instead of getting them to work in synergistic motion. But those waters are going to convert to healing the moment you stop. Okay? And it doesn't have to be full stop. They're talking about that abusive type energy, the forcing, the making, the moving, and that motion. That motion was the abusive energy. Okay. So over it is coming the Ouroboros. We have, it's like a flaming crystal, the opening of your pyramids, the deep dive into the self is being afforded you here. So there are cycles and circuits aligning in order to facilitate this, because you're needing some provision to come in so that you're saying, so that ye are well able. What? Okay, that's ancient energy. So that ye are well able. You are well able to regenerate after this forest fire. It was a consumptive energy. It will enrich you. It was wise in a sense, but it didn't need to be so forced, is kind of what you're saying here. But it is the completing of that energy, the coming the full circle, the full cycle, and allowing the time lapse of this complete year to occur. You were taking bits and pieces and parts of it and breaking it up, certain months and things, and putting too much out towards others. And so there needs to be a recovery of that time. That divine time is what they're talking about. So the spirit guides and helps are going to come in. So you want me, okay, to get on this. This is the third card. What is that help coming in? I saw you flip. I saw you flip. Okay. Arrest your creativity. So arrest means to take captive, right? To bring it in. You're needing to bring in your creativity. It is the bodyguard of you, the balance between these energies that helps you merge and deal with time. It helps you not just flow with the energy of the earth, right? This primal, it helps you flow with the energy of the heavens. It helps you unite them and begin. I see it contracting and moving in all these directions. What is that? Okay. Very gyroscopic. When you're in a gyroscope energy, those things where they put you in between all the loops and it starts to move. It's working of the gravitational forces along with your energy and bringing it back into the core. That's what creativity does for you, friend. It aligns your eyes. It aligns your eyes, and you were showing me all the eyes. Okay, I'm getting sorry, y'all. Hang on. Hang on. Woo! You're like, So you were talking about eyes, and you're wanting to add to the eyes, y'all. The eyes have already been revealed to me a bit through Scorpio. You're adding in imagination. You're adding in instruction. You're adding in insight, and needing to get them aligned. So bringing in even more openings, because these are emanations, not just... they're alignments, and we often think of alignments like the balls, the circles, the chakras, the wheels. No, this has to do with structural foundation. It's like us going that 3 and that 5D and becoming the 4D. Okay, so you had a reading on that. It might not have seemed that significant at the time, but it's way back when, like 2 or so months ago. And they're always relevant. That's why they're timeless reads. But it was talking about the 4D coming in. You're physically doing it now. You're doing the energy of it now, and that is intense. It's, so don't let it carry you away, okay? That's what I'm picking up here. Don't let it carry you away. All right. Set your standards. Set time for this bit of meditation on that energy of the eyes. All right. So they're saying set your standards, set your time, set a timer, and don't get carried away, because that's part of that Jupiterian energy, is knowing how to, the Jupiter and Saturn juxtaposition we have going on is being able to step out into that and to bring it back in, to step out and bring it back in. It's like a mental yoga you have going on here. And that leads us into partnership, which had once consumed you, okay? And it's going to bring you back into a place that you were healthy, you were verdant, you were greened up, you were balanced, and you are divine. You have access to your whole self and possessing of your whole self. nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing lost, friend. Okay, so now we step into the partnership. We make that turn and we're coming around to make the fourth square. Retain identity, higher self equals self. Freedom equals source of all other gifts. I don't know why you're having me put it over here. How about I just stick it over my face? Okay, you're wanting it over here. Okay, so you're wanting to move it into the future. You're wanting to take this forward. Progressing your identity, building upon what you already know, but retaining it for yourself is what you're talking about here, because then it is freedom. You're not obligated or coerced into maintaining these energies and investments you've put in other people. So give and let it go, give and let it go, and therefore the investment will begin to take place in yourself. In yourself. Now let's get one of these. In yourself. So this identity that you're talking about for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it's not hard for you to be lovable. That's what I hear here. But it is hard for you to be loved. 45. It's a belief that someone couldn't love all of you. So male or female here, especially female, you're fragmented out into these facets, very much like a guy. How guys think, compartmentalism, that sort of thing. It is efficient for you to travel with bags, to do that sort of portioning out. But letting someone see the whole you is necessary, because you're needing to let yourself see your whole self through someone else seeing you. This creative expression. Letting it all go, letting it all be out there. And it might seem like you have and like you are, you're showing me that, but those are more the doings and the beings of yourself. But your amness, your essence, your pearl, this, and that's what you were showing me on this card, is leaving, to leave the yard, the confinement is requiring you to step into, I don't know if you can see it, but down here with the fruit, there's a strand of pearls. Stepping into your full wisdom, your necklace, yourself, all that has come together through all of your experiences that make you up, who you are essentially. That is what this love is coming in. It's a demonstrative love. That's why it's a man holding the heart. I don't talk about being divine masculine, divine feminine. No, I call it about action or potential. So this is about actual, active, not potential here. It truly coming in that your higher self and your identity for you, who's showing up here, is through this love connection, through this divine connection, through a pure, powerful wholeness, that you begin to feel the workings of your inside, and you begin to experience all of your eyes. Okay, because you're showing me your lower half, your intimacy has been with the world, with life, with these type of energies, which is wild. Which is why here you were sleeping outside outdoors. That grave was your bed, baby. And I'm like, well, what? No covering, no roof, because being exposed to life, to the stars, to the energies of the earth, and that type of thing, like animals do. Okay, but now it's coming into this home, this dwelling, this safety in the arms of another. To be safe in the arms of a human, you're saying is wild to me. And no wonder you're like, you felt this underneath. No wonder you were like, the storm, all, and you're like, strategy. You were actually mad at strategy, because you were like, damn that thing, and you were wanting to throw it to the ground and going, I just want to go on the journey. I want to leave. I want to go. I want to depart. I want to just be traveling with one, going on out, meeting the world. And when it just seems to all fall apart, or it seems to have just had the cherry on top of the dish, I move on to the next. And it's like, all that going on, like white noise. It's like when the screen goes blank. That's when E.T. was phoning home. And your star, your love, the safety in the arms of that angel is coming in, that human, that divine intelligence, that intimacy of someone who gets you. They truly connect, because they've done so much expansion and contraction on their own, that growth, that development, that warrior energy, right, of molding character, the deep dive, and knowing that timely relationships exist. They've been through the same circuits as you, okay? So, interesting. I would say we could go on, but you're like, that blocked is just moving away. We don't even need to know the other side. It's going away with that storm because we're going to let this energy, we're going to let this energy turn that tide. It's truly about an active experience needing to occur, not just the energy of the mind here, Sagittarius. I'm right there with you. I'm like, ah! I have heavy placements in Sagittarius butted up right next to my dual Capricorn. So I'll get to sit back on the other side with you and listen to this as well and experience what you have just gone through. So I would encourage you, be bold, be brave, trust this. Trust this. It needs to be an active experience for you. All right, Sagittarius, we'll talk soon.